What's going on, guys? It's Mighty Dark 13 back again, and this is my ever so slightly late end of season roundup slash well, no, season roundup's probably the best way of describing it. Very quickly, I have recorded this video once already, but the problem with it was that I basically, as I finished the video, literally the day after, we had a load of news break about Dartford. Obviously, for those who don't know, we lost the playoff semi-final to Braintree Town 1-0, and subsequently Braintree beat Hampton and Richmond on penalties to go up, so congratulations to them. Best of luck in the National League next season. I'll be honest, I'm not sad to see the back of it. Cannot stand Braintree. As I said in Dartford's game versus Braintree, you're just a pub team in Chelmsford. And I've said that I'm going to be accused of being bitter. But as far as I'm concerned, Braintree, at the end of the day, they did what they needed to on the day. And we didn't. From what I was told, it was a crap game. We played terribly, so yeah. But as it stands, there's been some big changes at Dartford after the playoff final, or playoff semi-final. Sorry. The games, there was an announcement come out of Dartford that Tony Berman and our management team, Tony Berman, Paul Sawyer and Steve Mosley, had all left the club with immediate effect. I'd just like to very quickly, before I carry on, say thank you to them three. I mean, I've been a Dartford supporter since 2006. They've been the manager in the same way that for Arsenal fans, Arsene Wenger's been the manager for a lot of people's supporters. An Arsenal fan, I've only known Tony Berman as manager. And I'm doing another project, to call it. It's recorded. I'm potentially going to pop it out in the next couple of days. But I did get some questions in for a Q&A. And the problem, or the thing is with this project, it's not particularly related to football. So I thought I'd answer a few of the football questions on here, because I'm obviously no more videos from me this season. Season's done. This will be the last video in the Football Vlogs playlist. Yeah. But so with Tony Berman and Paul Sawyer leaving, as well as Steve Mosley, we had a void, and one of the questions was, who did I think would take over? My thought process was, I had a feeling Jamie Coyle was going to be coming in, and lo and behold, a few days later, Jamie Coyle is assistant manager to Adam Flanagan. So two former Dartford defenders. I had a feeling, as soon as I was told that Coyle had left Welling, I had a feeling they'd come back, or he'd come back. I didn't expect Flanagan back, but yeah. And obviously we had 3 players named in the Conference South team in season. So we had Tom Bonner, Ryan Hayes and Alfie Pavey. So congratulations to all 3. But in some sad news, obviously, at Dartford we have what's known as the core of the squad. So Elliot Bradbrook, Ryan Hayes, Liam O'Bourne, Danny Harris. It's been announced that Ryan Hayes has left us after 13 years to sign a 2-year deal with Concord Rangers. I'm sad to see him go, but I think a lot of people had a feeling this was going to happen. One of the questions from Mitchell, thanks for everyone who submitted questions. One of the questions from Mitchell was, do I think it's the right time for Berman to go? And what do I think brought his decision on? Well, yes, I think it is. I think he, in some ways, has taken the club as far as he can. He will always be a club legend. You know, 3 promotions in, not a lot of seasons, as well as, taking us to the semi-finals of the FA Trophy, And to be fair, in our first season in the Conference Premier, we were the best part-time side in the country, finishing just outside the playoffs. I think that's the problem, is that people expected us to be like that. Obviously, two relegations in 2 seasons killed us. We lost a lot of supporters. Not blaming them, obviously I understand why people leave. It's hard when you've got the likes of Charlton, Maidstone, Ebbsfleet and all that. It's a shame, but I love Tony Berman, and Steve Mosley and Skip, so Paul Sawyer. I want to thank them all for their, for all their work through the club. Thank you for making, Dartford yes, it's stressful watching Dartford sometimes, but they've made the club who they are, and we'll be eternally grateful. But my thoughts on Jamie Coyle and Adam Flanagan, I think it's going to be... Next season will be a rebuilding season. I'm going to go as far as say as I don't think we're going to be up near the league title next year. Sadly, looking at some of the people, I can see, obviously, if Elliott goes as well, the only player I can really see staying is Lee Noble, and I think it'll be between him and Bonner for the captaincy. As talking about players, another question was, who do I want to stay? I want both goalkeepers, so Derren and Bertie. Derren, because obviously he's a legend at Dartford, and Bertie because he's a good goalkeeper. He's been a fantastic, and he's generally a really nice guy. I've got nothing but respect for him. Lee, obviously I want Lee Noble to stay. I wanted Hazy to stay, but obviously he's gone Concord now. I'd like the core to stay, but then again, you've got that thing of everyone saying, yeah, one more season, but if we don't get promoted, then what are we going to say then? One more season. And after the heartbreak, I can see why Elliott wants to leave, or might be potentially leaving alongside Danny, alongside Lee. They've put their heart and soul, and I mean, I wasn't at the Braintree game, I had prior commitments, but to look at the fact that Elliott was in tears after we lost the league title at Bognor, and then by all accounts was absolutely distraught at the final whistle against Braintree, and I feel for the guy because he's put his heart and soul, and whatever happens, I know Hazy's left, but he's still a club legend. We're playing Concord this season. He is a legend, and I personally hope that he doesn't. I know it's stupid, it probably won't happen, but I hope he doesn't play against us, because I don't want to see him getting slated, and he will do. It happens everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I'd quite like, obviously Bonner and Vint I want to stay. Mark Onyema I want to stay. Tom Murphy, sorry, I don't know where I got Luke from. Probably thinking about Luke Wanadio, who coincidentally played left wing as well. Big Dwayne I want to stay. Alfie Pavey, obviously I want him to stay. He won't. I'm pretty much sure he's gone at this point. As for where he's going to go, I've got a gut feeling he's going to go to Cambridge United. I think Pewey is stay, hopefully. As for Danny Mills, now Ebbsfleet fans who watch my videos will say that I'm being a prick just because we didn't get promoted. But I've praised Mills when he has scored, and yes, I will admit he has scored some vital goals for us. But the problem is with Millsy, and yes, he scored 20 goals at Shitehawk, he was probably their main man. He is very, very lazy. He will stop running, whereas someone like Dwayne comes on and runs around like a bull in a china shop for 20 minutes or whatever he's given and runs his bollocks off. Mills is very lazy. I've got a lot of respect for Mills because he's very sort of... I mean, at Bognor I have respect for him because he was applauding the fans, geeing us up. But in the playoff final, I was talking to a few people and the general consensus was he couldn't give two shits. He was just being lazy. And... my dad made a very good point. He's an Ebbsfleet player. He might be on loan at us, but he's a Fleet player. Why would he want to get their biggest rivals promoted? And I don't think much of Mills. Obviously, yes, he scored some vital goals, and yes, he probably was the reason, because he scored at East Thurrock, he scored at Bognor, he scored a lot of important goals for us. But he's not a player I'd like to see back. I personally hope, and I'm thinking now Burnham's gone, he won't be re-signed. Obviously, with Elliot Bradbrook, Jamie Coyle coming in, there are rumours coming in that Tom Bradbrook could be on his way back to the club. Wouldn't mind that. I've always liked Tom. Obviously, I remember Welling against Welling on Boxing Day. He got kicked up in the air by Elliot. So, but as for Lyle De La Verde, I don't think he's going to stay, to be honest. Warren Mfula, I hope stays. I do like Warren. There's a few other players. Yeah, it's all a bit of a confused state. I mean, as for players I'd like us to sign, Jason Pryor. If we lose Pavey, and a lot of people are going to dislike me for saying this, Pryor scored goals last season. So did the East Thurrock player Sam Higgins, I think his name is. If we lose Pavey, and obviously we're losing Mills as well, I'd bring in Higgins if we can afford it. Bring in Higgins and Pryor if Pryor gets released. If they both get released, you know, I'd love to see. A lot of people at Dartford don't like Jason Pryor because obviously he scored for them, but scored for Havant and Waterlooville and whatever. But I like, you know, Pryor when he was here the first time couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. He was shit, but I'm hoping if he comes back, our style of play might change. I'm hoping we need a striker. I'm hoping Pryor comes back. If we were to lose goalkeepers, so say Darren left and Bertie left, I'd like to see us bring Alan Julian back to the club. I know he's an ex-Fleet player, but Preston Edwards, who is at Dulwich Hamlet, obviously they're in the same league as Dartford now, so I'll be looking forward to that game next season. I'd like to see us bring Julian back though. Alan Julian is probably one of my all-time favourite goalkeepers alongside Andy Young, who's my favourite Dartford player. As for the last question from Mitchell, and thanks Mitch for the questions mate, it means a lot. Who was my player, or who do I think, we're going to have in pre-season? Now this is my personal thing. I'd love a pre-season away at Liverpool. It's never going to happen in a million years, but I can dream. I'd like Charlton, Millwall at home. I'd like us to go to Tunbridge Angels, or I'd like Tunbridge Angels to come to us. Obviously, Tunbridge Fan TV, shout out to them. I'd like a friendly against Fleet. I'd do that as like a charity match kind of thing. I'd like us to play a friendly against Canvey Island because I like Canvey. Leatherhead. But then, if I'm looking at friendlies, I'd like us to play against Cambridge again. I enjoyed that game last year. I'd love a game against Portsmouth. Maybe Leyton Orient. Maybe even a friendly against Arsenal. I'd love a friendly against Arsenal. A friendly against Fulham, see the return of Marcus Bettinelli. But my next question comes in from Mr. Discussing on League. So Jasper, what's my favourite ever away day? I've got two. I've got Luton Town away when we beat them 2-0. What a day that was. Or even though we got spanked 4-1, Bradford away in the FA Cup. And I cannot pick between those two because obviously Luton Town, the first season in the Conference Prem, and you go to a bastille of a club like Luton Town, ex-league, you know, ex-Premier League, and beat them 2-0. What a day that was. A 3-day headache, 2 or 3 day headache afterwards. It was fantastic. Bradford for another different reason, and that was because away from home, obviously you have to stand by, but everyone at Dartford was just chanting. We scored, and it was a back heel from, I think it was Lee Noble, and it was one of the quote unquote, it was fluky as all hell, but it almost won for goal of the season, goal of the competition. And the nice thing was all the Bradford fans were applauding us. You would have thought we'd won the fucking FA Cup, the way we were celebrating, and I think that was the year Bradford went on to beat Chelsea. But we were, like, even the Bradford fans were applauding us, and when it switched to BBC Sport, like the commentary on the game, people said all you could hear was the Dartford fans. So yeah, it would be a case of Luton or Bradford. I couldn't pick between one of them. Another question that comes in is from Dan. Including programmes like donated and whatever, how many do I think programmes I have in the programme pod? Which is something I do before a game. I've recorded bits in there before, like me talking at half time. But I sell old programmes, open most home games. If I had to guess, I'd probably say over 1,000, maybe 1,500. There's a lot in there, and believe me, I've got to go in over the close season and sort some of them out. So, mind you, Steph said she'll help, so it'll be me and Steph doing it. So, yeah. But thoughts and feelings for next season? Not that optimistic. I think it's going to be a rebuild, but I'm proved wrong. I believe in Coyley and Flans. I'm hoping to see Andy Young come back as the goalkeeping coach, because I'd love to see Youngie back at Dartford, but that's just me being selfish. I love Andy, great player, one of the nicest blokes ever as well. But I'd just like to say, guys, thank you for the support this season. It's been incredible. As it stands, at the time of recording, I think I'm 4 subs away from 100. Share the video, get it out there. Let's see if we can hit 100 subs. It would mean the world to me. I've been doing this 3 years now. I'm probably, in quotation marks, the elder statesman of the football vlogging YouTube thing. I'd started off doing this, no one viewed them, they were getting 10, 15 views. Now I have fans talk to me about recording, and that means so much to me, because Dartford are my club. And that means so much that people actually recognise that it's me doing it, and I don't do it for fame or whatever. Like, I'm not being funny. Look at the likes of Nathan Holt, even Jasper, Mark from Tunbridge Fan TV. Look at them; they get notoriety. I'm just doing this because I love doing it. I love getting my club out there, and guys, it means the world. So, yeah, I'm going to leave this video here. Very quickly though, something new is dropping on my channel within the next few days. This has been recorded on a Tuesday. Keep an eye out on the channel, because something new is dropping very, very soon. And it's something that people aren't expecting. Yeah, guys, but honestly, thank you so much for the support this season. Thank you, Steph, Dad, Grandad, Ben, Phil, anyone else who's appeared, because I'm probably forgetting people, but thank you to everyone who's appeared. It means the world. And thanks to the YouTube guys behind the scenes, so Nathan, Jasper, everyone of those who's sort of given me advice on YouTube. Thanks to the YouTube family, Most of all, though, next season, we're coming back bigger, we're coming back better. Let's improve, let's get up there. I want to try and make some changes, but there'll be an update video on that. I'll try and stay active this summer. F1 videos, I can't pretend that I'm happy doing them, but I'm going to try and push out this season, because I think this is the last season that the race is going to be on like Channel 4 and whatever. So I'll finish this season. Whether I carry on or not it depends. But on a happier note, guys, thank you again. Yeah, that's it. No more football vlogs. No football vlogs now to the new year, or to the new season. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Let's see if we can hit 100, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.